base full of water. A couple
So
years
the
ago, they had a
because the
phenomenon.
Aquarian, because the Aquarian age is knowing and coming into more information, like coming into more nourishment, more fruit, in other words.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering, was you going to say that that's like bringing the woman is now going to probably take certain positions?
If you go back to Moorish literature, you see Noble Drew Ali carrying a woman, and the waters is called the cares of the world, right? And he's bringing the woman out of the water,
Mm.
which is the symbol for the chiefs that can read the sign to know the assignment is to raise the woman out of the water, meaning the admiralty jurisdiction, bring her back to the land, which is the tribal jurisdiction of the great law. But we only see the picture, and we thinking he talking about his wife. He might be talking about his wife, but when we realize that it's more symbolism involved, we see more than just a man carrying a woman. It's an assignment,
Mm.
right? To uplift fallen humanity, because that's written on the woman's dress, fallen humanity, right? Now, when you look back over world history and you realize that the planet was once all females and that the sacerdotal seat was usurped by the Pope, that's why his seat under Big Mama's seat, and that not only was the sacerdotal seat usurped, but all of the priesthoods was replaced with drag queens instead of priestesses. That's why all of them wear them long robes. Them not robes, them gowns, them nightgowns that women wear. And that was the old Sibyls, the sisters of the Sibyls. They call them in modern science the 12 daughters or sisters of Eve, right? In
Mm-hmm.
the in the lodges, they are the 12 daughters of Isis,
Mm-hmm.
right? But they taking it back off the fraternities and sororities, then it take you back to the temples of Delphi. And when you study the temples of Delphi, it tell you that the Delphi temples was erected around an oracle reader who was a young maiden, the Dame of the North, which gives us Notre Dame, right? Notre Dame is in France. And what else is in France? The Parthenon of Isis. And what else is, no, yeah, the Parthenon of Isis. Now they moved the sacerdotal seat from where its original place was, and they set it up in Italy under the Roman reign of the Roman Empire, whose job it was is to usurp the divine feminine, which is the mothers that was the matriarchs, the big mamas across the land, which was the tribal mothers that was the one who was the inheritor of the land, right? So now we have to explain it once we get the receipts and show them where this is what happened, this who did it, this why they did it, this what's taking place. And the biggest traps is all of the isms, right? Those fixed mentalities or ideas that they give you that you ain't supposed to overcome. But the goal of being here is to become an overcomer, overcome whatever the obstacle is before you, right? So in the age of Aquarius, now you get in the information age. The age of knowing brings about the age of knowledge. Knowledge is useless if you don't know how to apply it. The application of knowledge is called wisdom. The one who can properly apply the knowledge in the place that it's supposed to be applied is the wise one, right? And the wisest of the wise can tell you that all of these other people who was putting the pieces where they go, put them all together, and this is the puzzle you get. You unravel the mystery of the ages. But it's not really a mystery. It's an open secret that we, the organic people to the planet, no matter where you find us at, we was already here. And that
Mm-hmm.
somebody came from somewhere else, be it through a portal on a ship, or if they just fell off a cloud, wherever the hell they came from, They obviously not from here because everything they doing is belligerent to somebody that live here. And we like to blame the cat's paw for the cat's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
So you brought up,
oh,
oh no, I'm gonna go and then dots. So you brought up 23andMe before we actually get into
mhm.
23andMe and the CEOs. There was that and all these CEOs that dropped down. Sony and some other CEOs. I can't remember them all on the top of my head, and they all dropped down that day. Before we get into the 23andMe, do you think the other CEOs that dropped down because of the Diddy allegations, and they know that they're going to be implemented or implicated in all these offenses?
Well, it could be sensationalized to give the appearance. Because remember, what they use in the media for is to capture the lowest informational exchange. Is called gossip. So they want to activate the ones with the most amount of power to deal with gossip instead of to deal with information. It's not the same. So the gossip columns can link them all together. Half them people probably was at Diddy parties, but if they was there, they on tape. They videoed them. And you gotta remember, Kim Kardashian blackmail tapes they alleged was found in the Puffy LA home. So whether it's true or whether it's not true, I've been saying for the longest, she was the queen of the damn. That's who Aaliyah was playing in the movie. And that's why she had to get low for exposing Kim Kardashian. So
That's
all of that,
interesting. I
all
definitely
of that
hear
stuff
that
can
she's
be
scared
connected.
right now too.
Say it again, sweetie.
They say in the reports Kim Kardashian is really freaked out right now.
Yeah, she should be. Slimy slut.
Now for the 23andMe, and you can pull it up if you want to, Dots, that article. We know that the CEO.
Right? Because where the reason they didn't have where the doctor was looking for, he was supposed to get saline, so they had to send him to the right place. They tested a couple different things in the virus research, and one of the things that they testing was snake venom. The other one was that nanotech, what they call that stuff. Um. Anyway, it's nanotechnology that.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it either, though.
Yeah, but the nanotech was only in so many shots, right? They had different control groups, and then you had some places where they only gave people saline, which is the basic IV drip. It's harmless and does nothing to test the placebo effect.
Wow,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay, Dots. Sorry about that.
Now, why are you apologizing? You don't have to apologize. Hi, Lashandra. Welcome to the show. So real quickly, Rod, before she goes, I have a question for you. So, okay, so you know how Israel, Age of Aquarius, right? Let's put that as the umbrella. And Israel, a few days ago chose to drop a lot bombs on Lebanon, right? And what they said was the reason for dropping bombs in Lebanon or bombing Lebanon is because they only targeted the homes where Hezbollah is hiding their weapons and X, Y, and Z. Okay. Prior to that, though, I think it was last month or maybe 2 months ago, the Prime Minister of Israel had came to the United States, right? On a press run, but came to the United States, and the headlines were saying, oh, Kamala Harris refused to meet with, Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel. I guess that was her way of taking a stance, or I don't know what that position point was, right? But only to find out a few months later that Israel got the go-ahead to drop these bombs on Lebanon, because as we all know, as we all know, Israel don't move without United States permission, right? Let's be very clear about that. And so when you talk about the rise of the quote unquote matriarchy or woman coming into power, right? And we have a female that's running for president of the United States. What is your thoughts around Kamala Harris, right? And would you consider her to be a visual example of what the rise of the matriarchy should look like, be like, act like, ... no pun intended.
Look, it's at least 3 Kamalas, maybe 4. One of them is a man. The character that's being played as Kamala Harris' role is to fail miserably. Everything she's doing is geared toward her failing miserably. And the prophecy that she's supposed to be fulfilling is the fall of the whore of Babylon. So now you got to go back and watch Joe Brown going in on her about being from the Haktua tribe to get her way to the top. So I don't think nothing about her one way or another personally. I can care less if she's there or not. She's definitely not a representation of the rising matriarch, because if you're going to put a drag queen in the place of Big Mama, that's not going to work.
Oh, she a drag queen now?
No, it's one of her lookalikes is a man.
Okay.
If they put that man in power under the pretense of putting a woman in power, that's the Statue of Liberty, the drag queen, Lady Liberty, the whore of Babylon. The drag queen that's the Statue of Liberty is a carving, is actually from a temple painting of Lucifer in Europe. So if all this stuff is related to what she's doing, the chucks and pearls, the purple sweater at the inauguration with the pearls around her neck, all is identifying her as the whore of Babylon. And you got to have a clear representation in order to say that the prophecy is fulfilled. I don't call it a prophecy. I call it the fulfillment of the plan. They made a plan, and they trying to capitalize on the plan.
That's so fact. So fact. So can we go back to a little further?
LaShawn, you're breaking up.
Fast, sweetie.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
Oh my! Hold on, I'm gonna come back. Hold on one second.
Okay, and peace, Copper, Draco. But while LaShonda is coming back, I wanted to ask a question Bad Saint proposed in the chat. She said, is it the exact same thing that was happening with the swabs when they were doing those nose swabs? And were they doing like placebo with some people and using some other nose swabs to actually infect some people or anything like that?
Yeah, some of the test kits have been found to have nanotech in the swab tips. Then they don't really need a test kit to take the swab. They can just grab that Q-tip out the jar over there. But the COVID kits come with a sealed Q-tip, just like they use in the doctor's office, but it's sealed. It's single by itself. But the ones where they test, where they giving saline, they just use the regular long swab straight out the jar. But when they open up the pack, that's a strong likelihood that that pack contains one with a foreign agent in it to affect the people that they giving the test to.
All right. Copper Draco, you up?
Salute to the panel. How y'all doing tonight?
We're doing good. How are you?
Peace.
I had a quick question for Rod. It's a little different, but being that when a woman is pregnant, she's pregnant for 9 months. But when we come out, it's another 3 months that's tacked on to our lifespan, right? Every year.
Mm-hmm.
So being that okay, I'm 43. So if you take your if you times your birthday by 12 and then divide it by 9, that's supposed to be your real birthday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the last 3 months that they give us are the months that people spend the most money. Would you say that that's being given us to us? That's being given to us to take our energy, to use up our energy? Because if I'm 57 right now, I could retire in a couple years. You know what I'm saying? But I'm really only 43 according to them. So I just wanted your opinion on that.
Okay, so the birthday thing, when you born, you got to remember before you can become a semen, it takes 72 hours for a man to produce a fresh batch of semen. It take a woman, all her eggs is there at birth, but they don't activate until about 90 days before they go through the fallopian tube. And this is where your 12 months come in at. The 3 months that you was just an egg and you became activated in the third month as a sentient being when the egg and the sperm united. And so they count that 3 months as the pre-gestation period of the egg. And when you born, first of all women don't carry their baby for the same length of time. That's
True.
a modern medical um, misidentification. Some women can carry a baby longer than 7 months. Some
Mm.
women can carry them 10 months, and some women have the capability of carrying them 12 months. And this also confuses the birthday philosophy because these different groups of women come from different tribes that used to be separated a long time ago. They gave us the 9 month as the median. The 9 month gestation period is the balance between those who carry long term and those who carry short, what they call short term, 5 to 7 months, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when you born, you actually born, you already a year old. You supposed to been one right there because
Damn.
your whole first year you was in mama womb. She was
Okay.
building you without the aid of the hands of man. Your mama was building you for the first year. Now that
That's
you built,
true.
you face the world. Now your mama gonna program you.
Mm. Okay. Okay.
So, if I may, and
Mm-hmm.
how big ups to and wellness to the sisters of Scramble Mounds. Big ups to the chats.
Peace.
Promote wellness. Promote wellness always, all days. We all will, right? I'm appreciative that I'm able to like jump in this conversation with Rod. So, Rod, when we speak of a matriarch like system, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you get into this aspect of thought of her, right? When we speak about her, which is your mother, my mother, our aunties, even me as a daughter, and my sisters as daughters or aunts or cousins in these aspects, we've been so decimated, right? We've been so dogged for a very long time, right? 'Cause even if we're looking at at how we are now, right, and how they're promoting us as being sluts. And I'm gonna keep it a buck. They're promoting us as being sluts and us being this. We so just we're just the atrocious, right? When you see these things, and I don't see this in atrocious, but I see this as that we're wizards because we have a mouth. We do. We have a mouth, and our mouth is our real glory. Would you not agree, Rod? Our mouth is our glory, and we do push ourselves in a certain place to push you as my guy, Rod. Right? To push you and put you in the placement and uplift you, because this is what we do to uplift you to be. who you are is my so-called king, right? You want some talking? Let's get down to the business. I talk a way to be a way to push you in a way that we get this shit straight on the 8, right? Am I fucking around or not saying this shit, right?
On time with time. I'm with
Okay. So this is what we do. So when they push this slutty shit, we're not real sluts because we don't like to do none of that shit, and we don't do it for real. We talk it and we can be it, but we don't do it, and that's the real shit. That I don't know if y'all, I don't know if y'all know who we are. We don't do that for real. I'm not out here. None of that. I don't do none of this shit. I can talk it. I can be it. I can present it. Motherfucker get in my face. Nothing's going on.
So
And if you fucking it, go
let's,
ahead. Go
let's,
ahead. Go ahead. Come on. Fill in the blanks, baby.
so the slut aspect, that is not organic to the community. That is social engineering of the corporation. And they use that as the means to defame the feminine. It's a defamation campaign. And then this defamation campaign that's against the women, they also have to try to convince the men to behave like the women while they trying to convince the women to behave like men. The double standard comes in when it's a male standard for men and a woman standard for women. And now when the men try to behave like the woman, the other men can say, hey, that's not what men do any longer, for the men who know how men supposed to behave to educate the up and coming man on male etiquette. So now the women dying to find a divine masculine male, and they keep running into these socially engineering males. They don't want a male, they want a man. But because so many people follow that narrative of the slut doctrine and the um, deadbeat doctrines of the men, and they believe that stuff socially, you can use that to steer people's thinking along the lines that you generate as socially engineered construct. This is why the welfare system was implemented as part of the method or strategy for disrupting the family unity. The first thing you got to do to break family unity is to break the parental unity, because the children learn the unity from seeing mom and dad stick together. When they try to turn dad against mama, mama said, I can't go to the store. Go on, take your ass to the store. Everybody hear what your mama talking about. No, it don't work like that in a functional unit. Dad, can I go to the store? What your mama say? Because I know you already asked her what your mama say. If your mama says you can't go, don't come ask me. Right?
I
This is
know that's right, right.
all part of the breakup of the family, the nuclear family. And this is a lot of when y'all be hearing them talking about nuclear war, they talk about the war on the nuclear family, the family unit, to separate the parents from the child and the parents from each other, divide and conquer. But we starting to wake up from the slumber, and many of us is pulling our children wisely out of their educational system because they training our children to become other than themselves.
Facts on facts. And the mind is what you should be implementing with your children. You have to give them proper etiquette when it comes to the mind. Do not be slumber by any of this aspect, because they will definitely want to put you to sleep. This is how come they keep putting in your faces a Diddy. Oh, who are Epstein? They put these things in your faces ever. They keep you distracted from you, the glory. Y'all the glory. And y'all don't even know y'all the glory of all this shit. That's the company that keep putting us down. Like I don't listen. I understand it, and I've been ostracized. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna keep it a book. I don't have none of the people I was around from young, from birth. People I protected. People I put my fucking neck out for. I fucking fought everybody for to save. To only be ostracized. You understand what I'm talking about? For the
Yeah,
truth.
listen, being ostracized for telling the truth is part of your spiritual journey. Don't be offended at the people that ostracized you because you had to be ostracized so you can isolate to do the self work. And the self work is what's going to allow you to see how to correct the problem in your communication with the ones that's still stuck in the problem. We call the black sheep the ones of us that get ostracized, the old a scapegoat. We got all of these terms, the lone wolf, right? The outsider. But you in the same family with a group of people that you love and you know they love you, but they can't digest your truth because they not the ones in the family responsible for breaking the generational curses. So they gotta hold you at an arm's length because you holding them to the fire to break a generational curse, even when you're not trying. And because they don't know why you putting the pressure on them, they have to escape the pressure. And the pressure that you putting on them is some stuff that they call the truth. Hard
Sheesh.
thing to tell them is the truth.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you so much,
called that one.
Grateful. I think someone else popped on. I can't see your name.
No, that was me. That was me.
I think that's
We got
grand.
another
Is that short?
we got another masculine in the house. You know, try to keep it even. But I know Chief Pontiac is enough man for this whole goddamn panel. I want to give a shout out to Rod Hayes. Thank you for speaking that truth. You know, I've been trying for a while now to speak to you. And shout out to the ladies of Unscrambled Mind. Y'all been going in for the last, I don't know, man. It's like it's been months, man. Y'all putting up some great content. Shout out to y'all. I
Yeah.
listen to y'all a lot as well. Thank you for having Chief Pontiac on. It's my first time on the panel. I know y'all always give certain people opportunities to, voice their opinions and whatnot. And yeah, like Chief Pontiac is saying, it goes deep, man. The government, the nuclear family, they've been trying to destroy that for forever. You know what I mean? They had women burning their bras back in the day. You know what I mean? The feminist movement. It started.
Oh Lord.
It's been a long time that they've been doing this. You know what I mean? So the fact that right now, everything is kind of falling apart. It's falling apart at the seams, and I'm, believe it or not, I know y'all probably gonna have a little issue with what I'm saying, but I'm still gonna come out and say it. I actually, right now at the moment, with everything that's going on in the U.S. and whatnot, I married an African woman, so we've been married almost 20 years. I got two beautiful kids. Um, but I decided because of the way I seen everything was going on over there. I'm born Canadian, but my background is Haitian. So we all see what's going on with the Haitian community. They say we eating cats and dogs, which is
Yeah.
nonsense.
Can I can
You
I
know what I mean?
can I ask you a quick question? Sorry to break your
Absolutely.
because you.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
So now, so you being Haitian, what were you offended by the comment that Trump made? Did you care? Like, what's your thought? How did you feel about that?
Um, because back in the day, right now I'm in my 40s. I'm a grown ass man, so I don't let things bother me as much. But back in the day, I would have been furious. You know what I mean? And because I know it's not true, um, it doesn't bother me that much. But yes, I am offended. But I don't. I'm like let me say it this way. I'm not letting it bother me like I would have let it bother me back in the day. I know it's not true. I know it's propaganda. I know that us as Haitian people, our history, um, and the way everything started with us, and the way we actually also started everything, as far as our revolution and our story and whatnot, right? I know people don't talk about Haitian people enough. You know what I mean? Because a lot of things kind of started with us. I'm sure Chief Pontiac will be able to say that too. We pretty much swam to Florida to help in the Gullah Wars. Like we were part of that army that kind of came over to help and things like that. So I learned a lot over the last few years. So at the end of the day, it doesn't bother me anymore. Okay, let me say it this way. I think it was a few years back. I think he said something about I think he was talking about Africa at the time, where he said that third
Yeah.
world countries or something like that was
They
shithole
did
countries and
whole
shit like
countries
that.
and that the Mexicans
Yeah,
were
yeah,
this. Mm-hmm.
exactly. Yeah, that actually
Everybody
bothered me.
put it
That
different.
bothered me way more than this. That bothered me way more than this thing that he's saying right now, to be honest.